Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Guys, last week we made coconut milk and I showed you how you can use that to put in your coffee or tea in the morning, or you can make smoothies or different things that you can do with the coconut milk. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. Instead of making coconut milk, we're making coconut oil, and I'm going to show you how to extract the coconut oil from the coconut, and we can use that for a lot of different things, and we'll talk about that later. But let's get started. You've seen me do, if you're new, you haven't seen this, we have here some coconuts. We have a whole bunch of coconuts here. I have about 8 coconuts, and guys, I am just hoping that these are all good, because sometimes I break my coconut and then they're not good on the inside. I have the receipt, because if they're not good, I'm taking them right back to the supermarket. But let's hope that these are good, that we can use these today, okay? So let's get started. I have a cloth here that I'm going to put in my hand for the coconut. This is just to take some of the pressure off of my hand. And I have coconut here. I shake them, they all have a good set of water inside. So let's see what we have here. So I have my hammer that's going to help me to break these. Oops. Okay. Oh. So as we can see, this one is good, and I get all happy when they're good, because then I don't have to go back to the store. So for your coconut oil, just make sure it's something just went in my throat. When you're making your coconut, when you're going to make coconut oil, make sure your coconuts are really dry, okay? You don't want coconuts that's not dry, because then the oil, you have more oil when they're very dry. So just make sure. We're going to rest this aside, and I'm going to continue this process of just breaking them all and putting, this is the water here. You can use the water for different things. And we're going to go ahead and break this, and I'll be back to let you know if they're all good or not. So far the coconuts are good. I did a good job, guys. I chose some good coconuts. So far, they're all good. I'm happy about that. Very, very happy. Oh. Another good one. Look kind of weird on the inside. Look, see? Looks kind of weird on the inside. If I can see this good. But looks weird on the inside. All right, let's continue. Guys, I am very happy. Over here, I had 8 coconuts. I broke them, and they're all good, so I don't have to go back to the store. I can throw my receipt away. I don't need it anymore. I have a nice bowl of coconut water. You know what, I plan on baking a sweetbread today, and I'm gonna use a cup of this water to go towards my sweetbread. Instead of using water, I'm gonna use some coconut water. And you know, if you're making a smoothie or something, instead of using water, you can use your coconut water. You can use this for different things, okay? So I'm going to strain all this stuff off of this and put this in the refrigerator, get it nice and cold. And my Charlie would drink that. He likes stuff like that. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these coconuts. I think I just squeezed that coconut squeezed my hand just now, my palm of my hand. I'm gonna go ahead, get these all started and show you. I'm just gonna clean up this area so we can go on to our next step. Be right back. So you got, guys, so now let's continue. So the coconut water that you saw me just took out the coconut, this is it right here. And what I did is I have a cloth here that what I did is I strained it through this cloth to get it nice and clear. It tastes very good. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. You can drink it whenever you have the taste for it, Or as I say, you can use it for different things. If you make it a smoothie, a juice or something, you can add some of this to it. It does not go to waste, okay? So strain it to get all that little fuzz and stuff off the coconut off with a cloth. Because if you do it a regular strain, it's not going to work. You need a cloth to get it nice and clear, all right? So let's put that aside. And now we have our coconut. So now I'm going to try to get the coconut out of this. Now you can break it up into small pieces like Charles like to do. But I, hopefully you can see me over here. I just take this. I find it easier for me to do. And I just make some slices inside. And I just go around and make slices all the way around. And I'm using a butter knife so that you don't cut your hand. If you're watching this, I'm going to show you how easy it is to come out. I think Chaz do it the hard way, but you know, he's going to think his way is right. So I'm going to leave him, but I'm doing it my way. So you could do it my way, guys, and you're going to have good results.
And then by the time she done, she could tell me, my hands hurt. But y'all turn to me, that is too much work.
It is a lot of work.
All right.
Okay, so when you go all the way around, then you're going to take your knife and you're going to stick the knife underneath. And you're going to go all the way around and put it on this cloth here. You can go all the way around to loosen it up. See, you loosen it up like that. I find this easier for me, but you could do it the way that's easier for you. And you dig that piece out. See, it come out. Now, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your knife and you're gonna scrape the back of it just to make sure that there's no hard piece of the coconut that's stuck in the back. There's no need to peel it, but if you want to peel it, you feel more comfortable doing that, it's up to you. But I just scrape the back of it to get all, to make sure there's no shells stuck back here. And once you complete this, you can go on to the next piece, which I'm going to have my Charlie help me, and he's going to do it the hard way. Okay, coconuts are all done. They're all cut up, and well, not cut up, but they're all on the shell. And I have to give credit where credit is due. My Charlie did it the fast way. He said my way was too slow, and he was right. He did most of it. I just did a couple pieces right. So if you have a faster way of doing it, just do it the faster way. But my Charlie did it. So now let's go ahead and wash them and cut them up. So that would be the next step. Okay, so let's go over to the sink.
You gotta remember when I was hustling coconuts, you were still playing with dollies.
Well, you're not the same age, so how you hustle coconut at 2 years old or 3 years old?
Listen, when I hustled them, you were still playing with dollies.
All right.
All right?
So you say.
All right.
All right, let's go over here, baby, and do some work. Now we gotta wash them. Get them nice and clean. And then we're going to cut them up after that. And that's it. Okay, so our coconut is nice and clean over here. So the next thing that I am going to do is slice it up. into small pieces. And the reason I'm slicing it up into small pieces because I'm going to put it in a blender, and it's going to be easier to blend if you do it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and slice all these up. And once I'm done with this part, then I'll show you what we're going to do next. Okay guys, so here my coconuts are all cut up small. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take some of the coconut, put in the blender, and to that I have some water. And oh, I didn't measure this, I didn't weigh this. And you know what, I don't really think that you need to weigh it. Just get some coconut. It doesn't matter the amount of water that you put inside of it. I'm going to show you in a little while what it doesn't matter. So you really don't have to weigh this. I have some warm water here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour some of the water to the coconut. I think I can probably put a little more in here. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna blend this for about 10 minutes. And I blend it for about 10 minutes just to get everything out of it. So let's get started. Okay guys, so you give it a good blend. You just blend it for a few minutes. Last time I blended for 10 minutes. You don't have to quite blend it for 10 minutes. Just blend it up until everything is blended nicely. And then we're gonna go ahead and just pour it over there like that. And then we're gonna start the process all over again. Put some coconut, and we're not gonna put too much in. And then just pour some water again to that and continue with the process. Okay guys, that is the end of blending up the coconut. So this is all done here. Oh, I have 2 bowls and I needed something else. I think that's about it. It's a little draining in here. And we're all done. Now the next step, which you may have already seen in one of my previous videos, is to strain this. Remember guys, we're making coconut oil. Last week we made coconut milk. We're making coconut oil, and the process is probably like almost the same, okay? Because some of you are probably saying, but you made that last week. Yes, I made milk. Now today I'm making oil. All right. Now I have a cloth here. This cloth is a clean cloth. This you can go and buy what I call like a cheesecloth that you can use. This is an old sheet. No, this is a pillowcase, not a sheet, a pillowcase, an old pillowcase that I had, and I cut it, and this is what I'm using. All right, so you can use something very simple that you have at home. So let's get started. So now I'm going to take my coconut here, and I'm going to put it in here, and we want all the pulp out. So we're gonna squeeze the milk out of the pulp here. To get all the milk out, we're gonna squeeze it. Okay, now last week when I did this, one of my subscribers, she wrote to me and she said, why don't you use that for bread? Why'd you throw it out? And I wrote back and I said, because I think once the milk is out, there's not a lot of nutritional value inside of it. That's why I didn't save it. I was wrong. I looked it up online and I realized that even though when you squeeze out the milk, this there's a name for it. Oh, piece of cotton is in here. There's a name for it. Still has protein and lots of rich fiber inside of it. So what you can do is you can lay this out, you can dry it, let it spread it out, dry it, then put it back in your blender and blend it and make it into flour. So when you cooking whatever, you need some flour, use coconut flour. You can also use it for baking and so on, because she asked me why didn't I use it for bread. So I'm gonna make a sweet bread today and I'm gonna use some of this. So I'm not gonna throw this away. I'm gonna use this for my bread. I'm gonna dry it out. I probably won't be able to dry it today because it's gonna take a while. And then I probably show you in another video when I turn it into flour. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm gonna continue to do this here, guys. I'm gonna continue to work on this, and then I'll be back to show you the next step. Guys, we're all finished here. Over here we have our coconut milk. We have a whole bunch of it right here. As you can see, I saved some of it in here for my Charlie for his coffee in the morning, so he's gonna use that. But this is what we're gonna make our oil from. Here is the coconut pulp that I took out, and I am going to dry this and make flour out of it. And I'm also going to use some of it for my Bajan coconut sweetbread. I think I'm going to make a sweetbread today. Maybe I'll make a sweetbread before this is all done. So what I'm going to do, my next step here is to put this in the refrigerator because I want it to settle. I want the water to go to the bottom and I want the oil to rise to the top. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator. I think I may, if I find room in the freezer, I'll put it in the freezer. That way the process would go along a little bit faster. Okay, and then once it is settled and everything is to the top, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna show you the next process. It's step by step by step by step. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, so now let's continue. We're about to make our coconut oil. So let me show you what I've done. As you saw me grate the coconut and so on, I put this in the refrigerator. So if you notice right here at the bottom, the water has settled to the bottom and the cream has settled to the top. So what I want to take from here is the cream, not the water. So we're gonna try to dip off as much as this as we can and leave the water in there, okay? So let's get started here. I put it in the freezer a little bit to freeze up a little bit. Let's see, I don't want to break it up too much. I put it in the freezer to get a little bit too hard, but you got to be careful, don't let it stay in the freezer for too long because then it forms ice. Come out of there. Okay. So let me see. Let me skim off some more of this right here. Okay. I think this is just the ice. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside right there. Maybe I can get some more from that a little bit. Okay, so now I have this one here as well. So let's try to take the top of it off. better? Not really. Okay. I may have messed this now. I'm gonna let this part sit some more and settle some more, and I'll do another batch with that a little bit later because we want to get as much out as possible. So let's go over to the stove with this. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna continue to stir. Make sure you stay close by because it can easily burn, and all you're gonna do is to keep stirring this until the cream just releases all the oil. Okay, so you're gonna see the oil popping up in a little bit, so we're gonna just continue to stir this. It's gonna take a few minutes, but just stir. That's all you're gonna do right here.
Free and dive into the sky. Hear the wind crying out its prayer. Why are we so ashamed to be alive? Break the chains and our freedom's ours to take. Look behind your back. Chase a light when the world is getting darker. I have a dream where love's the only side. So take my hand, join the army of the shadows. Going harder, we are more than numbers, standing in this air.
Okay. So we have some oil here, as you can see. So I'm gonna strain some of this off right now in here. And strain that off. And see how much more we can get from this set right here. So there's still some more in here, so I'm going to continue this for a little bit and then pour it off into that bottle as well. Okay, so let's just take the rest of this out here. A second, let me just get
Look like grown turkey.
it does, right? Yeah. Let's get it all out of here and squeeze it all out. Okay. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get my cloth and squeeze to make sure I get all of this out. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze that all out. Okay guys, so this is how you make coconut oil. Look at the inside. So what happens is I still have some more to make because I have 3 bowls. So I'm gonna make some more. When I'm done with everything, then I'm gonna show you. I have to strain this again, but then I will show you exactly, and tell you what I'm gonna do with the coconut oil. All right, I'm just about finished with the oil. It was a process. It takes a little while. So when you put it on the stove, it takes a little while on the stove. It takes you there for a while. So just make sure that you have plenty of time when you are making coconut oil. Okay, so I have here what I've done so far, and I strained it in here, but you see as there's some little pieces that settle to the bottom, so I want to make sure it's nice and clear and there's no settlements. So I have my cloth here, it's nice and clean, so I am going to pour the oil in here, just, you see, just to make sure there's no settlement in the bottom. We need it nice and clear. So we're gonna squeeze it out right here. Wonderful. Good. And I have, and that's our nice clear coconut oil right there. So those are the little sediments that settle in the cloth. So let me put that aside for a minute. And here we have our oil. Now guys, you know, you can go online, Google coconut oil, see the benefits of coconut oil. There's lots of good benefits. You can, you know, you can cook with this, you know, when you're making breads or whatever, and ask for oil, you can use coconut oil. It is good for the skin. This is what I just got on my fingers. It is good for the skin. Right here, you have eczema or anything like that. It's good for the skin. It's also good for your hair. You know, it's good for your hair. It's good for your scalp. If you have itchy scalp, it's good to put in your scalp. It is good for a lot of benefits. And as I said, you can go online and look up the benefits of coconut oil and you'll see. So guys, this is our coconut oil. I'm gonna pour it into these little small bottles right here, because I'm not gonna use this one for cooking. I'm gonna use this one for the skin and the hair. I'm gonna give some of it to my daughter so she can use with the grandbabies. You know, you can put in the scalp, and I'm gonna keep some. So guys, you see, that's how you make coconut oil. Is the coconut that we grated. So what I did is, let me put this aside because I don't want to get coconut in here, so I'm going to put this aside. What I said about this is because before I was just throwing away. A lot of people sometimes throw it away, give it to the chickens if you have chickens or whatever. But you know, I was looking at them and realized that it still has protein in there, and the fiber, of course, we know fiber is very good for you. So what I'm going to do with this is, I already made a couple things. Oops, let me show you. Almost forgot. I already made a couple of things with some of this coconut right here, guys. This is something that we made in the islands. It's called sugar cake. It is so good. I made this from some of the coconut, and this is the kind of sugar cake that I love because it's nice and black. And for some reason I did it and got it to come out like this, and last time I did it I didn't get it to come out, you know, the way I wanted it to be like this, but this came out just like perfect. I like it nice and black, tastes a little bit burnt and chewy. It's good. And this is made with just coconut and sugar. I put ginger inside of it, and I put a lot of ginger so it has a ginger taste. I put a little bit of cinnamon inside of it, a little bit of salt, and sugar, of course. So you can make this, guys. And this is my sugar cake, guys, that I made from that coconut. I'm going to put, I have a sugar cake video up there. I'm going to try to remember put that video so you'll see how to make sugar cake. I also made from this coconut here coconut bread. This is coconut sweet bread. I have a couple of videos up that shows how to make coconut sweet bread. So I made this. So guys, I want to show you the coconut oil. It is all done. Here it is, all finished. I have some bottles here that I'm gonna put it in. But it was a lot of work, but it was worth it. And as I said, you can do a lot of things with that. You can just look it up on Google. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I had fun. And I hope you have fun as well. Don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I love to read your comments. Until next time, bye-bye.